What's going on, guys? Justin Melson here. I create all the content on the Happy Fox Productions YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Flash. Now, who's the Flash? Not the comic book hero, but my computer. This computer is the computer I built 1 year ago in this video, and if you want to click the video, the link is in the description below if you want to see my full build and, me talking about this thing. Basically, 1 year ago, I set out to build my first video editing computer. A lot of people in the comments thought I was building a computer for gaming, which I don't game, so everyone was kind of bashing me for getting a big CPU and a 980 Ti, and they're like, you should have got this, you should have Crossfire SLI 4-way. But basically, I'm pretty happy with it. I mean, after 1 year of use, I can honestly say this thing has paid off. I mean, in the video I talked, it was about $4,000 to build this entire thing, and comparing that to my old computer, which is this guy. Let me see if you guys can see him. Now, this is kind of a tight shot, so I doubt you guys can really see it. But it is really old ZT, oh my gosh, I just cut myself. It's a really old ZT Systems, just dust everywhere now. A really old ZT Systems computer, had 12 gigs of RAM, had an AMD Phenom 2 955 4-core processor. This is my cat, Calvin. He didn't really like that computer too much. So I went on ahead and got my new computer. And if you guys really want to know the specs, all that stuff's in the description. But in a nutshell, in this new computer, the Flash, it was a 5960X 8-core with hyper-threading, so 16 virtual cores. I still don't know how that works. There's 16 threads, 64 gigs of RAM, GDX 980 Ti, gaming, GPU, an ASUS X99 3.1 motherboard with 3.1 USB boost, which is great. JBL speakers, some LSR 305s with a Scarlett 2 i4 with some stands, and I got myself an ASUS monitor. And I didn't get rid of my old one yet. I still plan to do it soon, hence why in fact, I'm gonna get up. I mean, I put a good amount of work towards the actual computer, but I put zero work towards my actual desk. Hence why I still edit on a picnic table. And then I have a pink box that is what I set my monitor on. The main advantages of it so far are, one, when I do a lot of work, I do a lot of broadcast work for my freelance job, and I'll do something for Fox Sports, and they're like, okay, we need you to edit a 22-minute show with 8 minutes worth of commercials, and we need this rendered by tonight. I need to send the client rough edits of the show. And I'm like, okay. And so they're like, we need it now. And I'm like, all right. I'll encode it in a relatively compressed format like H.264, which could take, an average machine an hour to render 22 minutes. I could render this thing in about 15 minutes, which is faster than real time. In some instances where I'm rendering DNX HD, I could render a 10-minute show in about 7 minutes with a GPU acceleration, which is really great. So those extra cores are really going hard. I colored a feature about 2 months ago, and then I was using DaVinci Resolve, and I was really relying on my GPU, my 980 Ti, and I was able to color Blackmagic Ursa 4K RAW footage without any kind of hiccups whatsoever. And I wasn't even editing off of SSDs. I was editing off of a regular Western Digital hard drive, just external USB 3.0 hard drive, and I was able to edit 4K RAW uncompressed very easily. And I think that mainly had to do with the CPU and the GPU are really working hard with DaVinci to make that work. But, in the RAM also. But, I mean, so far there's been really no bottlenecking with this computer. My only bottleneck or my only issue is After Effects. Doesn't matter what I do, After Effects wants to run slow. It doesn't run slow, but it renders slow. I don't know if it's their new architecture with the new, you hit spacebar and it does it doesn't really do a RAM preview. Well, it's a RAM preview, but it doesn't buffer up your RAM and then play. It kind of plays in real time. I don't know. Surprises me because I can render a clip in Premiere Pro in 4 seconds, but in After Effects it'll be the same thing. I'll be using Adobe Media Encoder and it could take 2 minutes. As of now, for the next couple of years, this computer serves me well. I mean, I'm working on a feature right now. Well, I'm working on my own feature, and I could see myself doing the offline and online cut with this computer. I could see myself doing a lot of visual effects and mixing with this computer. It's great. I mean, the only other thing is GoPro footage. Surprisingly, I don't know if it's the codec or something, but I was able to edit Ursa Mini 4.6K RAW, 60 frames a second footage, uncompressed. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. But once I get to GoPro footage, And it doesn't matter if it's 1080p or my 4K with my GoPro Hero 4 Black. It just chugs. Like, it starts dropping frames. And I have it off of an SSD, like a Samsung SSD. I have it on, overclocked, using all my cores, all my RAM, everything. Well, as much as the software lets me use, and it still chugs along when it comes to GoPro stuff. So I don't really know, but I mean, as of now, I really enjoy this computer, and I'll probably do another video breaking down all my components. If any of you guys are looking to build one similar to with yourself, with your budget, don't underestimate your computer. Just like I say, don't underestimate your sound. Don't underestimate your computer. It kind of goes down to not necessarily how fast is it, but like how sane is it gonna keep you. Like with editing, it's one of those things where I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here. You guys know it's a very time-consuming process. It's a very, very laborious process, and you need something that doesn't make it harder. You need something that just makes it more efficient and easier, especially when you're working. But if you're working, like if you're just doing jobs and stuff, you need something that's fast, because if you know you can produce something relatively quick, but your equipment is holding you back, then that's not good for you, because you're working more hours just to make the same amount of money. If you have like a decent CPU, some decent RAM, get yourself like a $1,500 computer, it makes all the difference. Invest in a good machine, because as much time as you spend in front of a camera or behind the camera shooting, like you spend a week shooting, you'll be spending 6 months editing, or 5 months editing. So, make sure to invest in a quality chair, quality screens, protect your eyesight, make sure you're comfortable, because you need to be work efficient and fast and calm, and just make sure you have a great post-production workflow, because that's kind of where your masterpiece is crafted. You craft it in pre-production, you craft it in production, but you craft it all the way to the final product in post, and you want to have a clear mind and be happy and excited and at your top of your game when you're at post-production, because you don't want post-production to be where it falls apart because you don't like editing. And the reason you don't like editing is because you have a bad computer. If you like editing, make sure you get a good computer. And that's all I have to say. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next time.